Hi, everyone. It's so awesome to be here with you this evening. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. It's a beautiful privilege to be here with you this evening. It's evening in Nigeria. I don't know what time it is with you. Maybe it's a good morning, it's a good afternoon, whatever time it is. You are welcome to Relocating Right. And my name is Tolu Alade Somi. It's always a delight, to host you on this program. Talking about relocation, integration, immigration, finances, children, marriage, everything that has to do with you on this journey. All we are trying to do is just help you cope with, this transition, the movements, the jackpot, okay? Everything to make it convenient for you if you're single and convenient for you and your family if you're a family person. Okay, so tonight, by the grace of God, we're going to be talking about something totally different from what you've heard on this page. Now, just before we begin, right away, if you're here for the first time, I would like for you to please just go right there to the subscription button and just click on it, okay? Just subscribe right there so that each time there is an episode coming up, you'll be able to join, you'll be able to benefit from it. Okay, so you're welcome again. And don't forget to share this with someone this particular episode or the previous episodes. I mean, you'd like to even, after this program, check the other episodes that we've had. I'm sure it will really bless you. I mean, I've heard people testify and share how this has really been helpful for them in making their choices. In fact, for some, they went back to their drawing boards, to re-strategize after watching the different episodes because they felt like, wow, we would have made a mistake, would have committed a lot of, blunders. But thank God for Relocating Right. It helped us to put things, in perspective, and it helped us to re-strategize. And here we are today, blessed because we listened to Relocating Right. Now, I am glad to have you here this evening. And I'm not alone. I'm here with my very beautiful friend, my sister, my bestie of over 20 years. Wow. I really want to uh, credit us at this point in time to be able to have been able to keep a friendship for that period, for this length of time. It's been awesome, really awesome, having this friend of mine and this beautiful sister of mine in my space all this while. But I tell you, it hasn't always been so easy. It had to be a deliberate, intentional thing on both parts, to be able to keep our friendship. I think one of these days we should teach or talk about this together, right? But we're not here to talk about ourselves. We are here to talk about burning bridges, okay? And you would know pretty soon what this is all about. So my friend is here. She's Pastor Maureen Oshumakinde. We like to call her Pimo. Okay, she's a coach and a counselor. She loves to help people find purpose and live it. I mean, I can't say this. I can say this so many times over. This is what I have known her to be, even from the time that we were in school and up until now. She still loves to talk about the subject of purpose and helping people to live it. Now she's the executive director, BR Initiative, and NGO, and she's also the president of BR Nation. I'm sure you've heard about BR, right? Now she pastors alongside her husband, Pastor Dele Oshumakinde, my own Pastor Dele Oshumakinde, of the United Kingdom, where they currently reside. And they're also like the general overseers. I know she won't like the sound of this, but that's who they are anyways. General overseer of the Baptizing Church in Nigeria. So I'm excited, delighted to have my friend here today as we discuss and have this conversation about burning bridges. And we're trying to say, okay, don't do that. Do this instead. So we're going to be telling you what you need to do instead. Okay, Sean, let's have Pastor Mo. Yay! Where is P Mo? Okay. P Mo.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Aha. All right. You are welcome, Pastor Mori. I hope you heard everything that I said because I
Yes,
just couldn't find
yes,
myself
I
again.
heard
Oh,
everything that you
yeah.
said. Why am I the only one on the screen?
Okay.
It's not my show.
Oh, my God.
Okay, now I can see my friend.
Babe, it's your show. It's your show. Do it like you would do yours. Yay. Oh, my God. So
Yeah,
it's so
thank
good to have
you.
you back again. I
Yeah,
remember bringing you the other time, and
right,
we it was about sexuality. Oh my
right,
goodness, that was good, really good.
right.
If you're here and you're watching and you didn't watch that, and especially if you have children, please go and watch it.
Yeah,
It's a mind-blowing, beautiful session. You would learn so much.
right.
So I'm glad that I'm bringing her back today, and for so many reasons. Obviously, I mean, I wrote in my post that I think that she's one of the people that best suits this kind of topic, because she's one person that I know has done well with relationships in her life. Apart from the fact that she's been my friend for so long, I also see many other relationships that she's done well, to keep within the UK and outside of the UK, everywhere. I mean, people everywhere. And I figure that she would just be that person. Of course, because of her wealth of wisdom. I mean, have you heard my friend speak before? I'm not sure you have. Okay. Hallelujah. She does speak some good wisdom there. So I figure that she will do a good job with us. You're welcome, Pimo.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and
Loud and
clear.
clear. Awesome.
Yes,
Thank you. Thank you
yes.
for having me. And I'm beginning to feel like a celebrity on your relocating rights because like this is
Oh,
the
yes,
second
you
time.
are.
Like I'm just like most wanted. So
Yes, you
I
are, my
am,
love.
I am, I feel like, I can just
Oh
say,
my God.
Pastor Tolu, your next show, I'm going to be on it. Like I have that right to like just pick whatever relocation rights topic I want to have with you at any
Yeah.
time. But honestly, I don't take this for granted. And the day you shared with me your burden on this particular thing we want to talk about, and we just talked about it, had a lovely chat about it, and we just like I think we need to get this out there because there's just been a whole lot going on. So I'm here for you. I am so pumped.
Oh,
I'm ready to like just chat and have this conversation and just deal
yeah,
with it once
yeah.
and for all, and hopefully by the grace of
Yes,
God
so
have a few people
honestly.
take one or two things away, and some will also have to retrace their steps. Some will have to call some people after this show, hopefully. Some will have to just amend their ways if
Amen.
possible. And
Yeah.
yeah, so I'm looking forward to a wonderful time.
Yes.
Thank you,
Yes.
bestie.
Yeah. All right. Okay, Oremi, like we call ourselves.
Yeah.
Now, so how did this conversation start? Now I put it right out there to say that I was on one of the social media platforms the other day, and I was reading this post where somebody shared their own moments with their friend who was relocating and all of that, and how she was excited and then wanted people to also like tag their friends who were in the same situation and all of that. And I read up some beautiful comments from people, oh, how they miss this person, miss that person. But on the other hand, there were these other posts that, the emotions were palpable, of the feelings and the expressions of disappointments, how that valuable relationships have ended, with Japa and all of that. And, for a second, I thought about it and I felt, wow, this is not nice. This is not nice. We need to do something about it. I'm not sure that um, Japa migration or relocation is meant to actually put an end to something that we spend time building. Because if you ask me, one of the most valuable things that anybody would have on the surface of the earth today is relationships. Trust me. And that's why when we were born, people were there. At death, people would also be there. Nobody can bury themselves. So that's how valuable relationships, and people in my generation need to understand this, okay? That as you pack your load, you don't leave behind your relationships.
No, you don't.
So I was having this conversation with someone and I was still trying to decide whether or not I wanted to bring it up on Relocating Right or not. And the lady was sharing with me, Maureen, you won't believe it, that she was aware, true story of this story where somebody was traveling abroad. This person was relocating and slept over at a friend's place in Lagos. I know you already know the end of the story. Slept over at a friend's place in Lagos and traveled the following morning and didn't tell his friend that he slept in his house, that he was relocating. This person later heard from somebody else, that this person had relocated. I'm telling you. So I'm like,
you're good enough a friend for me to spend the night, but you're not good enough a friend for me to tell you that I'm relocating. Oh, how sad.
You,
how
that
sad.
Is so, I felt heartbroken for the person in question. So I wanted to ask you, Ore, are there circumstances where Japa should be kept secret? What exactly is this about?
Oh my goodness. I think we should do a bit of background check here. And that's the fact that the category of people we're talking to or talking about. So we're talking about majorly Africans, Nigerians. So there's culture, there's tradition that comes to play with the way we do a lot of things, Christian or no Christian. There are a lot of traditional Christians, even though they are Christians, born again, tongue talking, they are still very traditional, very cultural. They still believe in certain things. So I think, in this, it's like, and I won't be quick to pull out the dagger against such people, because I remember back then growing up, whenever we used to watch shows like Dr. Phil or shows like Helen DeGeneres and Oprah particularly, and how people, not Oprah was even still decent, Jerry Springer, and how people would come and talk about their love issue, and say it open. And then I'm confessing now, I used to be like, like, seriously, you don't know where to go and talk about your family business. You are bringing your mother out in the open. So it's a cultural mindset that we've been programmed to believe, especially in Africa, that it's not everything you put out there. You have to be secretive because you don't know who likes you. You don't know who is working evil against you. You don't know who is not happy for you. So, people who are Christians, unfortunately, they still believe these things. They still have this mindset. It's like when you want to do birthday, they will say, don't I'll say it in Yoruba, don't do any noise thing for the birthday. You get, like, no, don't make noise on that child. Let it be one prophet has told her, one prophetess have told you, and then we let our lives be ruled by these things. So I would say that we need to establish that first, that it's a mindset, it's a cultural conditioning that we found ourselves in. And unfortunately, people have come to believe these things hook, line, and sinker. So I'm traveling out because of the way we see it. An American they will tell you an average American doesn't leave America. An average British person does not leave Britain. Why? Because they are fine. It's not a prayer request. I want to apply for visa. It's not a prayer request in a British church. But because of the environment we found ourselves in, we believe that when someone is relocating, it's a big deal. It's a big deal, like you have broken through in life. So the other people that have not broken through, they are going to stand in your way. They are going to ensure that, you know, that thing that God has finally done for you that you've been bringing before prayer, as in you've been praying about, you've been writing in prayer posts, you've been bringing pictures, you've been going from one deliverance house to the other, you've been attending prayer meetings on one mountain. Finally, they gave you the visa. You now say you should go and tell somebody, Kojumari, we are not telling anybody. So, honestly, I believe that I think it's just our conditioning, our mindset. And that story you said about that person that, you know, slept over in a friend's house and the next day you were traveling, that was just so wrong. Now, are there people that you really don't need to carry megaphone and tell? Yes, maybe. There should also be some measure of privacy to our lives, no matter how public social media has made us, whereby everything is on social media. You wake up in the morning, this is how I wake up. YouTubers are just, you know, this is how I wake up in the morning. Let me take you through my morning's routine. See whether lie or true. You know, whether we don't know. But that's the life, that's the social media life. But I think everyone, every human being should still have a measure of privacy, not secrecy, a measure of privacy you get, but not to that extent that you are traveling, your best friend, your close friend, it's like a pastor living, relocating, and the church members find out when he starts giving a virtual meeting, midweek service from Canada. As in, like, come on.
Oh boy.
As in, why would you do that? So there are some people actually that, you know, you owe it to them based on relationship, based on how close you are with that person. You know, at least word of mention. Like for you, my friend, and I'm going to use it as an example. You didn't get to know I was traveling even 6 months before I traveled. You knew when it was even at the initial stage of a seed form. It's because of the level of relationship that we have. Now, there were several people that did not know at the stage when you knew. Because I was being secretive, just because we don't have that kind of relationship. So I really don't need to tell you. But then when it became something that was, you know, materializing and taking shape, and I knew that of a certainty we were going, more so I'm a pastor and I have so many people that I'm committed to. It's not anything. So firstly, removing that mindset of one shemini, somebody's going to follow you, and when you get to that airport, because you told them at the airport, they will now say, we deny you your visa they've given you. Or when you go there, the witches in Nigeria will follow you to UK. There are deeper witches in UK that is beyond the one in Nigeria. Witches that will help you to be walking, that you will not have a life. Those witches are deeper than the ones in Nigeria. So in that context, that's what I would just say. I don't think it's something that, you know, there's no like a situation when you can, when you can't. I just feel it's based on relationship.
Yeah. You know, so the joke is, I mean, all right, I totally agree with you on that one. I mean, interestingly, I realize that I'm so how will I put it? I won't even say I'm a secretive person, but I'm a very private person. You know that, you know, I'm a very, very extremely private person. But like you said, I know the people in my life that you know, like the vital relationships in different seasons and who need to be aware of certain things, you know, that are happening or going on in my life, you know. But, you know, on the other hand, I'm now remembering them, you know, the stories our moms, you know, our grandmas. Okay, well, let me say our mothers, because for instance, we have parents who would probably be in their 80s by now, you know, going to their 90s. And way back then, when they wanted to travel from the village, it was almost such that, they will sing for them, they will follow them even
Yeah.
to the car park, help them
Yeah.
carry their boxes because they were
Yeah.
traveling out of Nigeria,
Yeah.
Then it wasn't was it? I think it was usually by ship. I can't remember how my dad first went to the UK, but I remember it wasn't really thing to be secretive about because they were, how would I put it? They were sent forth by the community. Oh, community,
Right.
in that sense.
Right.
One auntie gave money for passports, one uncle gave money for
Telling
that.
you now say they should
So
not know when you are traveling.
I'm telling you, so there was no secret about, and what would have felt back then that maybe there were even more winches in those villages. So I'm like, oh my goodness. Anyways, all right. So now that we're talking about vital relationships, so what forms that vital relationships? Who are those vital people in our lives? Because I'm remembering, certain stories about, some people leaving their places of work and not even mentioning to their bosses, and I know that there are different stories, of different things that people have done to each other, employer-employee relationships. Maybe some didn't really enjoy working in that place, in that space, and they just felt like I will show them, and the moment they got like this out, they were gone and all of that. And then maybe like tenants with a landlord or landlady just living, like that, or like a neighbor who just walks out, without really, and then days after, everybody's wondering, this place has been quiet, so isn't there anybody here? So the other day at work, I was listening to one of my colleagues talking on the phone, and she was saying to her friend, Abu or not Jakpa, because the truth is that somehow that's how you find out if somebody has really gone, because you just pick up your call and you're like, I haven't heard from you in a while. Abi, you have traveled,
What's
and then
happening?
the person just, like, oh wow, it's true. I actually did. So I want us to be able to define what vital is. What is that? What are those vital relationships?
Right.
And yeah. So let's put that in perspective right now.
Interesting. I think we also need to just put it out there that the world has become more superficial.
Yeah.
And very fake. So I don't know what to say is the reason for that. I don't want to say it's because, the world has become digital. We're now in a, digitalized global village, global community. And what we call friendship, genuine friendship, I'm not saying it doesn't exist. It exists a lot. There are so many people who have it. You and I have it. And I'm sure so many other people that you have same with, and all of that. But I feel like it's not as potent and as widely spread as it was. There are so many very superficial friendships. Oremi, bestie me. We'll make all the noise on social media. But then behind your back, I'm having a second thought about you. I'm talking about you to somebody else. That goes on a lot.
Yeah.
And so you begin to ask yourself, were you guys really friends? Like, what is the basis? Yeah. So I think the definition has to start with what defines friendship for you? Who do you call your friend? Pastor Bakari says, if you have 3 friends in a lifetime, you're a blessed man. That is to say, friendship isn't a word that you use loosely.
No.
So, and it's a mutual thing. It's a commitment from both parties. So it's a give and take both ways. And sometimes it's over time. And it doesn't really mean length of time that, you should have known this person for 30 years or 20 years. but there has to be something that connects you together, that brings you together, and that makes you know that, okay, this person has got my back, I've got this person back, this person. So at that level, if you truly know that, so that this person is like this to me, I don't think that a decision as important as relocating from a country should be hidden from such a person, if indeed you are friends.
Yeah.
But there are some friends that you would freely share such with than some relatives. For example, I might not be close with maybe a distant cousin. So I really don't have any business telling my distant cousin that I'm traveling out or I'm relocating. But I have a friend who sticks closer than a brother. So it's not about family. So family too is defined. So some people have polygamous family and they're not close with their siblings. Do they have to say, because we're of the same father, I have to tell you that I'm traveling? No, not necessarily. So it's based on the value system of that friendship. If the value system is right and you understand that this is my friend, you know, that I don't think, honestly, and I'm saying this, you know, I don't know who is going to watch this video, but I don't think there's anything I can hide from you, Tolu. I don't think there's anything about me that you wouldn't know first from me. And I don't think likewise from you get. And it's a relationship built over time. And I have a few people like that in my life. So honestly, but if we can just be honest. So me, I feel the reason why people are feeling offended and they're like, my friend left and didn't tell me. She wasn't your friend to start with. She was an acquaintance. No, it's true. She was just a mere acquaintance. You just assumed that was a friend. And again, on the flip side, Tolu, let's balance it. Some people also are entitled. Some people also feel entitled and feel like you owe them to tell them everything that is happening in your life. Meanwhile, you don't have that kind of relationship with. So we need to define that too as well. That we chat and we talk and we say hi, hello on social media doesn't make us besties and doesn't bring me to the point where I now have to tell you everything that I'm doing
about my life.
Yeah,
you're right.
So it's a two-way thing.
So right. Wow. So to know who's in that category of the vital relationships and people who need to know, since what we're talking about basically or majorly is on relocation, who need to know about what's going on with you. Those people in this category that Maureen has just described. Right now, they're people that you guys know each other. You know that you guys have each other's back. It's not like you're living in assumption. Okay, well, I guess that maybe this is the point where some people will truly actually know the status of their friendship, right?
Honestly, I think so. I think so.
I guess that this helps people to know the status of their friendship anyway.
And I think that on the other side, there are some people you also tell out of being responsible. So for example, your neighbors, your boss at work. Do you understand? Or other things you are committed to in church. You are ahead of ushering. And then we have workers meeting on Sunday. And I found out that you are in Canada. Uncle.
Oh my goodness.
As in, how responsible is that? Responsible is that? That me, your pastor, or the director in charge of your unit, I'm not saying announce it to the whole ushering unit, but you have a responsibility to let the person that you submit to in leadership to know, oh, I'm relocating. We don't need to know the details. You don't need to have given us 10 years advance notice or 2 years advance notice or even 6 months. 3 months is enough. A month at times is enough, especially at that level. So that if they need to fill in your role, you want people doing that to you.
Exactly. That's just it.
Doing that
really,
to you.
Really.
It's responsible. It's not fair. No, now some people will say, have you seen that meme before? Where they put a picture of a guy that is smiling and they put him, this is the smile you have. And the caption was best half of the month. And then the smile was so fake, and they put it there and said, this is the smile you have, even though you are the best half of the month, but you are relocating the next day. You know that kind of smile, like, if only you people know. Bombshell, Lola. But I think that's the height of irresponsibility.
Oh my God.
I honestly don't think.
Said online. Oh my God. Maureen, somebody said online, remote head of ushering.
You can imagine. Can you be remote head of ushering?
Oh my goodness.
If a pastor won't just leave you, and then midweek service on Wednesday is saying, brethren, blessed be God. I just want you to know that, you know, the church has moved. God has moved us, and my family were now in the United Kingdom. I don't understand. As in, I can't wrap my head around it.
Yeah, so, right.
There are some people you tell based on relationship, based on the value you place on the relationship. But there are some people you tell out of courtesy, out of being responsible.
Wow.
Out of being responsible. You hold a position in a church, you let them know. You hold a position in a ministry, you let them know. You hold, you are working in an organization, you let your boss know. I'm not saying if you have a relationship with your boss, fine, you can let him or her know, you know, the details and your plans. Because one thing we don't realize, Tolu, and I think that's where we're going to tie this up probably, is that we don't realize that God is not going to come down from heaven to sort you out. He's still going to use a human being. And most times it is human beings that you don't expect. So most times, and people will tell you that those who have disappointed them the most are people who are close to them and who are family members. And those who have reached out to them the most are those who are not even family members.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example, a life example. My neighbor in Lekki, when we're living in Lekki, you know, she was like a mother to us. My next door neighbor, you probably will know her, to look. Very amazing woman. You know, she took us like a family. She would attend our programs, you know, and all of that. When we were moving to Maryland, you know, of course, we told her way ahead. Mommy, we are moving. Oh, my family, you people are living and all of that. She, you know, gave us her blessing and everything. Came to Maryland to visit us, not once, not twice, you know, just to see where we were. When she was now relocating to America, she took it upon herself to let us know that, I'm relocating. Since you left me in Lekki, I'm alone there. I'm going to America with my daughter because she lives there with her daughter. And then she moved to America. Now, I have a need for her in America, in the same state where she is. Who did I call upon? Who did I call upon?
The woman.
So imagine if I just left and I just assumed that she's just a neighbor now. She doesn't really need to know. I'm talking about almost 6-7 years down the line. 6-7 years down the line. She's playing a major role in something I'm doing in Atlanta. Right now. Do you understand? So why would you want to burn the bridges? Do you think you know why are you so fixated? You don't even have a clue who God wants to use to bless you.
Yeah. Bridge.
So I just needed to chip that in.
Yeah, awesome. I remember that story very, very vividly. Okay, so now I decided to like put this in like onto so that we could look at it more closely. I want to also address those of us. Okay, so I don't want to say those of us who are here because I realize people are also relocating from different countries into different countries. So it depends on where people find opportunities. So there are people in the UK right now who are relocating to Canada, to Australia, to other countries. So I'm still speaking to them. So I'm speaking to people who are kind of like who are behind. No, not behind. Who are staying back.
Right.
For lack of words. Yeah, not the people who are traveling right now. So I wanted us to address those people who are staying back. So imagine I'm addressing us. We are back home in Nigeria, to address us, to say, okay, so what are some of the things that you could tell us for those of us who are here? Now, thankfully, you are in the UK. So what would you like to say to us who are back home, or back home wherever, in whatever country we're in? You're not interested in relocating just yet, or you're not relocating, but you're still back home. What would you like to say to us about people who are moving, or people who are already there? What would you like to say to us?
Well, what I would say is, I think at the end of the day, we're adults, and no one is really obligated to get your permission before they do anything, especially when they're adults.
Yeah.
So I think understanding that because someone relocated, had the opportunity to relocate, however way, because there's also the other angle of people relocating and not even telling you how, and not giving you the details of how they are relocating or what they are coming to come and do.
Yeah.
There's also that angle where people, kind of like hide under the disguise of so many things. But the fun thing is that we are relocating, we're relocating. And another thing also is that I want people to understand that before someone would actually wake up one morning and say, oh, I'm relocating, either out of frustration, either out of, oh, better, greener pastures, which is a valid reason to want to relocate, either out of, oh, I want a better opportunity for my children, I'm willing to make that sacrifice. Or, of course, the state of things in the country back at home is not very encouraging right now. And if for anything at all, let me just have some measure of stability in my life. There's light, there's water, there's good road, there's fresh air to breathe. If for that reason alone, I think they have a right to their decisions. They have a right to whatever it is that they said they want to do. And we should respect their decision for wanting to travel. And I think we should also respect the decision itself, because oftentimes we don't realize that it's not often a very, very easy decision to make. Yes, some people are looking at it from the other side that, oh, you are going here, it's better now. Even if at least you are going to, there's water, there's light, there's fresh air, you'll be looking fresher. Like as if fresher is all there is for you to collect in the abroad. When people say those things, like as if actually when you travel, you need to be looking fresh. That's not all there is to traveling abroad. Some people actually pay the price. Some make a lot of sacrifices, to relocate. Some have to sell properties, forfeit their jobs for whatever reason.
Or borrow.
Yes, some also borrow. That's it. Because really, who has the big money to put down? Especially if the person is coming through the student route. It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
You understand? And then sometimes they get here and they're still trying the first 2-3 years to get their feet on the ground. Apart from trying to get their feet on the ground financially, they are trying to acclimatize to the culture, to the changing environment. We belittle these things. I was guilty of that. You belittle the amount of change that happens to you when you relocate, when you move to an unfamiliar terrain. Yes, it might seem like, oh, life is good. At least your NEPA is not taking light. There's water. But come on, you pay for these things. And then secondly, the weather is good. Some of us don't like the cold weather. We really don't like it. We react to it. I would take my sunshine anytime.
I know. I know that.
And this cold. It's the price we have to pay. You have to
Yeah.
change your way of life, your thinking. You have to acclimatize into a system sometimes that isn't very, very accommodative of your person's skin and culture. So you're dealing with all of that. You're dealing with integrating into the system. So I think those that haven't relocated or don't have plans to, which is okay. Number one, I don't want you to think that those who have relocated they have it better, or their lives have automatically now become like hip-hop parade, or to now begin to feel like you are the receiving end. Yes, things might not be totally like adding up, but I think the mindset we should have, at least for the period while you are still where you are, is that this is where I'm meant to be, and I'm going to make the best of it. And I'm not going to be looking at someone who has gone and be making that person feel like that person is better than I am, or the person is better than I am. If I have the opportunity to go and God paves the way, then you go. But it's not by looking at those who have gone and feeling like they are, I know that there are some people too who have gone. Oh, Tolu, you know those kind of people. They will go, and 1 month you'll be trying to understand their English. Sir, I'm just trying to understand. Have you gone for like 10 years? Like, we're just trying, because this in it you are saying is like and then they go, and in less than 2 weeks they're there. They're already doing YouTube vlogs about how to japa, where to buy things in the UK, the stores to go and shop. Come on, please give me a break. Give me a break and settle into the country where you are first and understand the terrain. So it's both ways. You'll now be terrorizing those and making it feel, oh my God, I'm out today. The sun is clinical. Keep it. Just be coming down.
My friend, keep quiet.
So honestly, wherever you are, appreciate where you are. It's a season. When we traveled, if they had told me 5 years ago I'll be in the UK, I probably would have said no. Because I'm one of those people that used to champion Nigeria for life. I can travel, I can visit, but Nigeria is life. See me here now. So I'm humbled. I don't used to shout that kind of thing again, because you never know where God is taking you from now. From here, you get. So appreciate where you are. Don't look at anyone who has gone, and then don't have entitlement mentality. Have entitlement mentality. Hey, come, let me tell you, come closer. In case you don't know, people buy things sometimes in UK, they spread payments. Somebody puts cash down to buy stuff. So you see someone on YouTube or on Facebook looking so glammed up and everything, and then you are becoming envious. And then in your mind, that person must have thousands of pounds in her account. Says who? So many ways people package themselves, and there's nothing wrong in that. I shouldn't, because you are going to feel intimidated, not look good, because I'm not here for you. So let's learn to, appreciate where we are, appreciate where people are, and let's just apply wisdom in relating. And then let me chip this in already. If there's anyone who probably has a friend who relocated and didn't tell them, don't hold it to heart. For whatever reasons the person decided not to tell you, don't hold it to heart. Sometimes it's beyond them. For example, I'm just giving an example. I don't know whether it happened, but imagine a mother-in-law had told her son, don't tell anybody, I've gone to see Pastor Jide. He said you should not tell anybody you are relocating. Husband now calls wife, don't tell anybody. Mama said, Baba said we should not tell anybody. No, wife wants to tell. Husband said, don't tell. So in that kind of situation, what will you tell the wife to do? So sometimes let's just be a little bit more understanding, and then don't hold grudges. Don't hold anybody to it. The person relocated today, who says it's not you that will relocate tomorrow? So honestly, and some people relocate and they find that they are back in where they relocated from. It happens. So there's no permanent situation that the person relocated. That means that's the permanent situation. There's no permanent situation.
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much, Ore. So let me, if I were to quickly, like summarize these, even though we have a question, one or two questions here. So if we were to quickly summarize this, and maybe add a few more things to it, I'll say, to address those of us who are here, I would say, number one, let's wish people well. All right. So as people travel, wish them well. Number two, have an understanding. Okay, for me, I'll say give them space. Give them some space to settle in. I usually say to, church members, don't be in a hurry to get in touch with us. Just relax, okay?
Right.
Thankfully, thank God for WhatsApp, so WhatsApp, it just drop a line, oh, we are here, we are fine. That's okay. All right. You're not under pressure in
No.
any way. Please take your time. Just take your time and be fine. We just want to know that you're doing well. So everyone has to be in that place where you let people know that, you'll be patient with them, and you need to say to them so they know, okay, that don't worry, just do your thing. Well, we know you're fine. Okay, so nobody should also make demands. Pimo just told us now. Nobody should make demands, please. We can't say somebody has just traveled now and the next thing you are asking for Pepe. No, you can't do that, please. Don't put people under pressure, on unnecessary pressure, to think that the
They're
moment they
asking
got to
for.
the UK,
They're asking for
yes,
wigs. They're asking for bags and shoes. Send
yeah,
us this thing. Some are even
no,
asking for money, house rent.
mm, yeah,
Children's school fees.
uh-uh. Okay, now. All right, so
Because no
we
matter
have
what
heard
you
it
look
all.
at it, alright, pounds is higher
Mhm.
than naira. So in
So,
anybody's mind, anyone who is earning pounds, even if
oh my
it's 100
goodness,
pounds, you are earning more.
child.
It's a
Ah,
mindset. It's a
yes,
mindset.
it is. So we have to deal with that. So we need to not make demands. So rather than somebody say in it, okay. So rather than make demands, we should give support instead. All right.
Right,
I mean,
right,
it won't be a bad idea to give somebody financial support who's
right,
relocating.
right,
Mm-hmm. You can
right.
afford it. You can give them a little something. Buy
Yeah,
them when they're buying food stuff. You can buy their bono, and even if it's two
yeah,
Congos, and say,
yeah.
okay, this is
Very
my own
true.
support.
Yes,
Just you can support them.
yes,
Spiritual support, intellectual support. So
yeah,
somebody who knows somebody there
yes.
ahead. You
Very
can connect
powerful.
people. Connect people.
Yes,
Oh, this person is a lawyer. Oh, that person is an IT person.
yes.
That person. So you can
Connect
connect people.
people.
All right.
Yes.
Connect people. Then you can pray for them, pray for people. And then you said something. You said we should calm down. We should calm down, knowing that even if you didn't hear from people or they didn't tell you, we can make, we're believers. Even if you're here and you're not a believer, the best thing that we could do ever is to believe the best of someone. The Bible says love
Yeah.
believes all things. All
All
right.
things.
So we can make excuses. We can make excuses for them. We can actually decide to think, oh, maybe they didn't tell me because maybe they didn't, and it's fine. Okay, it's
Or
fine. I
be
mean, I
or
have
be the
people,
bigger one.
especially,
Or
mm-hmm,
sometimes be the more mature one. Don't
yes,
because this person. So what makes you different from that person? Let's even say that person decided not to
mm,
tell you because the person is suspicious. What makes you different from that person?
yes,
If you two now decide,
yeah,
that's how you want to play it back,
mm-hmm,
be the bigger one,
mm,
be the more mature one.
no,
Call and ask, are you
yes,
okay? Are you
uh,
fine? And if God
yes,
helps you,
yes,
you have connections, connect the person. Sooner or later, they
I
will
hear
realize
you.
what they've done.
Yes, yes, you can actually do help people that way. And then, I was always also thinking about this time zone thing. Time zone difference can be a problem for
It
people who
is.
are in Australia, in
Yeah.
Canada. It can be really tough,
Yeah.
catching people because we back home in Nigeria, you can work, you can even be in the banking, you can be a banker and you're picking calls. Not be so for
Right.
there.
Right.
People cannot pick their calls there.
Yes.
So if somebody's missed your calls over and
Mm,
over again, it's not
mm.
enough to just think, oh, they don't want to speak to me.
No.
Oh, they don't.
No.
No, I think we
Is that I'm
can,
going to use
like chill.
myself as an example, all right? And,
Mm.
so that we can put flesh to it. People need to, that thing you said is so important. We need to be understanding. So when I was in Nigeria, I didn't do a 9 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm here, I'm doing a 9 to 5.
Wow.
I'm not going to have that luxury of time I had back in Nigeria.
I know.
I'm going to be fixing appointments. I'm available 6 to 6:30. Can we talk then?
Mm-hmm.
I'm available 8. Not forgetting that I have a ministry that I'm working with here too as well.
Now
There's
you have
a church
family
here and there's family.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole dynamics has changed.
Yeah.
So don't come and say, Pimo is not even replying our WhatsApp message. Pimo is not even calling us. I call Pimo, Pimo did not pick. Auntie, call again or send a message.
Oh my.
It's that simple. Send a message. And let it also be that sometimes you are sending the message just to check. I'm just checking on you. How are you?
I'm telling you.
Hope you're fine. You're not sending me message to say, UK, yeah, you people are enjoying. No, don't call me to say that.
Oh my goodness.
I'm trying to behave myself.
Honest. No, please do. All right, let's talk about this deal because it's so real. Somebody is here and he's saying, I need to tag some people to come and hear this. Yes, please tag. Go. Please, let's help ourselves. I think that somebody needs to just break the silence. A lot of these conversations go on social media platforms, and most times they're like, people are complaining. I just wish there was somebody to put the right perspective to it. And I feel like, if we could just help people get it right, I feel if we help people get it right, they might. I think for the most part, people will get it right. All right. It is well.
Amen.
So you also said, we're trying to summarize that first part. You also said we shouldn't get angry just yet. Okay. Something may be going on, with these people. So you're trying to reach out to someone, like recently somebody was saying to me, oh, she sent text messages severally to her friend, and that the friend wasn't just responding and all that. Anything may have happened. Interestingly, just yesterday, somebody called me from the UK who had lost her Nigerian line. She lost that phone, and she had to, in fact, I think she had to get my number, our numbers, my husband and I's numbers from somebody else to be able to get back to us with her UK line. And here she was apologizing. I'm like, don't even apologize. Myself, I don't get time like that.
It's true. It's okay. Honestly.
It's so okay. It is so okay.
Very
I was
okay.
trying to tell her, I'm like, please, it's fine. But imagine that I was back here and feeling like she has not even contacted me. I didn't know this person lost her phone with the Niger line in it. Imagine that. So anything could have happened, so we shouldn't get angry just yet. Okay, this person may be ill. This person may be going through stuff, and I think tough times.
People also, people also underestimate what happens to people when they first relocate. Those first few months.
Yeah.
Trust me, a lot of people don't find it easy. Trust me. Forget all the paparazzi pictures on social media. A lot of people, those first few months, find it easy. So we just overestimate it and think like, is it not UK? What can be so hard about it? Is it not US? Is it not Canada? Some people will deal with health issues, acclimatizing in a new environment. And we don't even realize what this thing does to some people mentally. People are forced to do jobs that they've never done in their lives. Not like the jobs are demeaning, but they've got to make a living. They've to earn something.
Yes.
And I salute such people and encourage them that it's just a season, is a phase. We are there waiting, and then we are now. So that's why some of them will just shut out. And I'm not making an excuse for them, but that's why some will shoot out, because they will feel
Yes.
like no matter how much they try to explain it to you, you really wouldn't get it.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
So let's be more
Awesome.
understanding.
Awesome.
Honestly, let's just be more understanding.
Yes, of people, and just calm down. Okay, so let's go ahead, and let's go ahead and talk about the other side. I mean, the other group of people who are now the people who are planning to relocate, or those who are actually abroad right now. So let's talk about them. What do we want to say to them, Maureen?
Okay, those who have relocated already.
Yes, or trying to relocate. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I would say almost like the opposite of what I said about those who are not
Yes.
relocating. And that's the
Yes.
fact that don't make it look like as if you've made an achievement. Like an achievement in the sense that automatically you're now better than other people. I think it's a wrong mindset, and it's a wrong place to begin to think. Where you now begin to feel like, yeah, I'm relocating now, I'm leaving Nigeria, I'm going to Canada, I'm going to, yeah, for whatever reason you're going, and however way you've been able to work that out to go there, don't see yourself like you're better. You're now, so some people are now beneath you. You can't be having some conversations with some people anymore. No, you don't do that, because the truth is, like I said earlier, God is not going to come down from heaven to do anything or to sort you out. He's still going to use someone. And trust me, that someone is not in that America that you are going alone, or that Canada. Sometimes it is someone back at home that God will still use to propel you into where you're going. So for the fact that somebody is not heading in the direction of elevation, as it were, as you think that you are going, and you feel because you've left this person, you literally think in your mind, these ones have been left behind. I move forward in life. I make achievements. We are the ones moving forward in life. No, that's such a wrong mindset. And I think people who are relocating or who have relocated should be mindful of such thoughts and such mindset, because sometimes it's a mindset. You don't verbally say it, but you begin to act it in the way you are talking with those who are there. Second thing is, don't hoard information. No biggie. Don't hoard information. Don't begin to feel like this information, I've climbed the top, you cannot climb the top. Or me, I've jackpot, you cannot jackpot. If there's any information you have that you've come in contact with, that you've come to, know or to have access to, share with as many as you can. If there are better ways to apply for visa, if there's an opening you saw, or even for those who are here also, is one of the things that PD always says, and it's one of the things we are pushing for as a community, especially Black community here in the United Kingdom, especially in Leicester, such that information is flowing freely. We are working together. Because it's funny that even in the Japan, even in the other, living in another country, we still begin to feel like we are still better than some people, that we are all in the Japan country. You get? So it's important that we realize that we need people. You cannot be an island. You cannot, whether in the country where you are or even in the country where you left. You will constantly need people. Don't burn bridges. Don't assume a status that now puts you on a pedestal that you are larger than life. Suddenly, because it has a way of getting into your head. Suddenly, because you are now earning, some pounds, and then you feel like,
Sorry,
you're better.
I want to quickly interrupt you there. Because that kind of mentality or lifestyle, or how would I put it? Putting up that kind of front may even hinder some people's progress, in the sense that there are people who want to help you, but they feel you're okay, so they leave you.
Very true. You are absolutely correct. Because here you are putting up a front like, I got it. When you're supposed to be crying out, help me. Help me. It's not like
Yeah.
I thought it was. So it's not like the way we thought it was going to be. You get, but here you are, put it up a front, and because you need to maintain that status and make it look like, we are the ones here now, we are the innate gang. It's not going to work. That's not how it's done. So be honest with yourself, be honest with those around you. Don't break, don't cut off relationships, except those relationships are now they're like leeches on you. Except that for your sanity and your mental health, sometimes you also need to just cut off from some people. It's okay, it's understandable, but apply wisdom and know those that you still need in your circle, and just don't create that dichotomy, that feeling of we are the ones in the abroad. Wherever it is, the Bible says the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. As a believer, whether you're in Nigeria, whether you're in Canada, whether you're in US, whether you're in UK, you can be in that UK and you will still struggle because it's not the will of God for you. And it's not a curse. You can be in that UK and God is telling you that you are meant to be in Nigeria. Your destiny is in Nigeria. Or you can be in that UK and someone in Nigeria is even still doing way better than you are. So it's important that we are humble and we allow God work with us, in us and through us. And we realize that, yes, we got our visa. Yes, God provided the money. However way, we're coming to study. We're coming to do a care job. Whatever it is we're coming to do, we've come to the shores of another land. It is often an opportunity not to brag about it, not to put pressure on those who haven't come, but to realize that it's an opportunity God has given to you to advance whatever God is doing in and through you. And sometimes it might also require paving the way for others to come. So it's not a me-I agenda. So understand that, you come with your family also. Don't isolate yourself. You don't do that in a country that you're not familiar with. Find people of like minds. Interact with people, because you would always need people. There's nowhere God wants to take you to in this life that you will not need somebody. Joseph needed the inmates and Pharaoh. So you need those that you are both still struggling and trying to get yourself together like his inmates. And you will need Pharaoh also, who is like, an authority in the land. But to now assume that, you are all by yourself and, you have made it in life, others are still struggling, it's a preparatory ground for failure. And it's not a cause. It's just what it is. So we have to be mindful of that. So that's what I would say. Find your community. Don't be an island when you finally get here, and remain humble. As in, it's really not a big deal. Yes, you relocated. Blessed be God. God provided the money or however way you came. But let it always, remind you that whatever it is you've attained or achieved has been by the grace of God. And for it to be sustained by that grace of God, you need to remain humble. And make information available. Don't hoard it.
Yeah. Awesome. Wow. Thank you so much, Moriola. This is so profound. And I can imagine that people are learning. I'm sure you're learning. If you are learning something and you're grateful for the privilege to be on this platform right now, can you please give me an emoji on this platform right now, Relocating Right? If you're getting blessed, please let me know. Let's know that you're getting blessed and that you appreciate Pimo for being here. And if you have not subscribed, please subscribe right now. To Relocating Right, so that you can get more episodes even as we come in live. Thank you so much, Pimo, for what you have just said to the people who are abroad or people who are trying to relocate. I just wanted to add one or two things before we go to the final part of this episode. I wanted to say to those of us, to those who are abroad or planning to relocate, that please, you need to know that the people back home, the relationships back home really miss you. Okay, so on behalf of everyone that you left back home, I want to say we miss you. Honestly, we really miss you. You may think, okay, these guys are back home in Nigeria. Well, let me tell you, on behalf of everyone, your siblings miss you, your former
Yeah.
colleagues miss you, your neighbors miss you, okay?
Your
Your
church
who
members.
else? Your church members, yes. Oh my goodness, especially if you were a leader.
Yeah.
Wow, as a leader, even if you were not a leader, there's just some people who pass through our lives and our lives just never remain the same. I
Right.
mean, Maureen, you don't even want to know. You know, we've had this conversation.
Yeah.
Being a pastor, I mean, hundreds and hundreds of
Yeah.
people traveled from church in the last 2
Yeah.
years, in the last 3 years. I mean, it was like they were yanking out different parts of me as each of them, because it's a
Wow.
well-bonded family. It's like a real family. So as each person left, it didn't. We wasn't like we felt it. You know, we
Mm.
felt it, not just in the numbers, but in the relationship. So we
Yeah.
want to encourage you to take note and be careful with because some people sincerely worry when they haven't heard from you. I think if you know this, you'll be more deliberate about your responses. Okay. So what we do sometimes, for instance, my siblings and I, we have a WhatsApp platform.
Mm.
So we have a WhatsApp platform. I don't, sometimes I may not speak to my siblings in 1 week or 2 weeks, but almost every day we're in touch. If not
Yeah.
every day, one day we put an emoji. Somebody say hi, you share, well, okay. Somebody will drop a voice. So just so it's
Yeah.
awesome. So we're in touch. So when my mom is saying Shobura, I'm saying yes because it's actually true. Because almost every day I'm hearing from them. It's not like
Yeah.
we're calling, but
Yeah.
I know you're fine.
You're in
And if there's
touch.
anybody that we haven't heard from in 2-3 days, we're trying to call the person and say, are you okay? We haven't heard from you. That's what real
Yeah.
family does.
Yeah.
Okay, so for your siblings, for your close contacts, this my friend is here now, Moriola. We don't talk all the time. In fact, we haven't spoken before the last time we spoke. We haven't spoken in a while, and
Yeah.
it's so understandable because she's very busy. She just explained her itinerary. I am also very busy. Interestingly, both of us, we came into the season of our lives where we
Yeah.
are the busiest. We had seasons when we were less busy, we had time, and it was, I mean, we had time, if I could put it that way. But now
Right.
we came into a season where, it feels like, oh my goodness, how am I going to do this? But in
Mm-hmm.
the midst of that, there are times we actually now find time. We can be on the phone for an hour, even over an hour. And such moments, my husband will just leave us alone and say, you people, you deserve your
As a
time.
family, we love you.
Oh, yes. he, he just leaves me and says, well, these people, you need this time. And then it will be like makeup for us.
Yeah.
And everything we haven't spoken about in a long time. And some other relationships like that, in my life, maybe cousins, maybe some of our church members who traveled. We have some little opportunities like that to catch up, if I can put it that way.
Yeah.
But we all need to make some time out in the midst of our business once in a while to talk. And then I also like to add this, Moriola, that people should not suffer in silence. Okay? At least
Yeah.
one person that you can reach out to that
Yeah.
can pray with you in your going through seasons.
Yeah.
Please don't keep quiet. You have too
Yeah.
much love than to be on your own. Okay?
Yeah.
You have people. I mean, I know there have been people that that I could not reach. I had to ask my friend Moriola to help me with. Of which I even try to be careful because I realize that she's not just there as a pastor. She's there working. She has a family, so I can't overburden her with all the responsibilities of my people abroad. So I will have to find a way of doing. Reach out to this one and say, please help me check on that family. Please help me check on that girl. Please help me
Yeah.
check on that boy. That kind of thing, and just for everybody watching each other's back like that. But please, to just say, please don't suffer. And say, if you're going through stuff, the people who know what to do about it in a
Yeah.
sense, and you really, you find out that maybe you didn't have to go through as much as you did. And then
Mm.
finally, I wanted to say to people who are traveling to please take note and be careful to treat certain relationships with caution. Okay, like we just
Yeah.
talked about now, Pimo just shared the experience of her neighbor who's now, I mean, in fact, that story is very interesting. Who's now, like one of the best things, happening to the family right now, to say, please be careful, your employer, even if you didn't have a cordial relationship, live well.
Yeah.
Because if you put yourself in the shoes, I mean, imagine that I own an organization and my employer, or my employee rather, did that to me, walked out on me, in your office, and your space, your role is vacant. Do you know what
Yeah.
that's going to do to that organization? We have to be careful, because that's a seed you're sowing, and
Yeah.
you don't want to
Yeah.
reap that kind of harvest in your own life. Okay, so don't leave a bad seed behind. And I think that that's where we're going to have a question, because Maureen, somebody is asking you that what about where's that question again? Oh, okay. The person said, please speak about folks who borrow from friends to jackpot and refuse to repay, or get friends to guarantee their loans and then they absconded. I guess that's probably one of the reasons why some people don't even look back. So this person is asking that, what about those kind of people?
Well, unfortunately, that person wasn't a friend, because a true friend won't do that, honestly. And I know that there are people who actually are very, how do you say that someone, when you say someone that you, how do you say that in English? Like, they're just very, like, they don't send. Some people can be very, like, I'm looking for that English.
Is it hard-hearted?
Maybe hard-hearted, but like, they don't send you, and they would rather, they are so selfish. So
yeah.
they're thinking about themselves only. So yeah, they might have borrowed that money or gotten a loan with the intention of paying back. But maybe they get here, the reality of UK hits them, or Canada, or wherever. Someone said being callous. Yeah, maybe being callous, like you really don't send someone. So you get to the reality happens, and then you are like, well, I can't kill myself. Do I want to go and borrow money? Do I want to? And then in your mind, because you are not in the same physical space with the person, you feel like you can get away with it. It's a wrong seed you're sowing. It's a very wrong seed you are sowing. The least you can do is communicate with that person. No matter what the situation and circumstance is with you, that person that loaned you the money is not at fault. It is you that loaned the money, or that used your friend's name as a guarantee to collect money. You are the one that, there's no way you want to talk your matter that you will say you are not at fault, or you don't have a blame. Some people might want to argue it and say, but she should be more understanding. But no, that's not what you said. That wasn't your agreement.
Yeah.
You promised her, assured her that you will pay her back. Okay, you got here, the reality hits you. You should try communicate that with her, but you should also put yourself in the person's shoes.
Thing. They will not even pick their calls anymore. You're not
That's
even
wrong.
saying
That kind of person is callous. That kind of person is that's not a friend, because a friend should not do that. You don't do that, put your friend in arm's length or arm's way, and then because you feel you are far away, you've crossed the ocean, you cannot be reached physically. Even if you are not reached physically, you'll be reached spiritually.
Yeah.
You'll be reached spiritually, because it will come, it will haunt you. This is wrong. It's a seed you are sowing. And it might not be a seed that you will bear the fruit even in your own lifetime. And it's not a cause. So you find out that some people, get stranded in life, or their children get stranded, and you are wondering how. The same way, if you flip the coin, the reason why some of us, our children can never be stranded, is because we did not allow bad seed. We didn't sow bad seed. We sowed good seeds. And our children are beneficiary of those seeds. So put yourself in those person's shoes.
Yeah.
And now, if such a person is in that case, the extreme thing I can say that such a person can do, that's the person that probably loaned the money, is don't retaliate back the way the person has done to you, because that means you're not different from the person.
Yeah.
It's hard, it doesn't make sense, you want your money back, but sometimes you just have to take the higher way, and possibly hand such a person over to God. If there are people you can report the person to, that the person is accountable to, you can't take it a step further and report. It's okay to do that, to report the person and say, this is what this person has done. The person has refused speaking. But before all of that, also try give the person the benefit of doubt. Like Tolu said, you never know. But even at that, if you are that person, even if your phone got missing, you know you are owing someone, you will do everything you can. There's social media today. You can inbox social media. You don't need a phone, WhatsApp to do that. So both ways, anyone who does that, know first in your heart that that person is not a friend. I'm sorry. And the person does not deserve you calling him or her a friend, until the person probably comes up with one valid reason, of why, and valid reason, like I was hospitalized the first 3 months of me being there. That's one valid reason. If it's not as valid as that, I don't know why someone would be in that kind of situation. You couldn't pay back and you didn't communicate. I think that is wrong. And I think it's not something that should be encouraged.
Yeah, thank you so much, Pimo. Somebody said here, when I was talking about the fact that we miss them, somebody said your village people miss you too.
Telling the village people, the village people miss you.
Oh my goodness. Thank you, guys. Thank you for watching. So finally tonight, all right. Now, I want us to now help people. Okay, so if you're here or you're going to watch this later and you have not handled your relationships well, how can we do? What can we do? How can we right our wrongs? Because I know it's never too late for people to reconnect. What can they do to, because right now some people are feeling like, oh my goodness, I know I didn't do well. I didn't do that right. Oh, okay, I agree. So what can I do? What am I going to do?
That's interesting. There's a story there's an analogy Jesus gave in the Bible. He said, when you go to the altar and you want to give your offering, he said, if you realize that someone is offended with you. Now, he didn't say that you offended the person. He said that the person offended you. He said, leave your offering and go and make peace with your brother. I needed to highlight that, because it's easier if we are the ones that offended to go look for our brother.
Yeah.
But he said in this case, Jesus took it a step higher. He said, if it is your brother that offended you, so your heart is clean, you are fine, but your brother is the one that offended you, he said, go to that brother and make peace with your brother. So the truth is, if someone, either you are the one that jackpot and you didn't tell your friend and then you realized it, if Jesus can tell the one that is not offended to go and look for the one that is offended, then I believe that that's a proverb to the person that is that offended somebody, to go look for their brother and look for their sister. Because I will say it again, there is a higher currency than money, and it is relationships. Is a higher currency than money. Relationship will give you things that money cannot give you. Please tell me how much Joseph had to pay to come out of prison. But for the relationship he had with the butler, that made him remember him in a place that matter. Secondly, when Saul needed an armor bearer and they needed someone to play the harp, the Bible says he was one of his servants who probably had a relationship or a friend or knew David somehow, that mentioned David and said, I have seen the son of Jesse. He is this, is the man you need. So we need relationship. Everything is not about money. Everything is not about status. Everything is not about how well you are living. Relationship. That's why Jesus did what he did in 3.5 years, because he had 12 men. He had the 70 and he had the 120 that he left in the upper room. Relationship. So please, whatever it is, don't hold people. Don't hold grudges. Offense will come. Jesus said it, that people will offend you. I mean, come on. Peter denied Jesus now. You are talking about your friend that jackpot. What about, what is worse? Peter denying Jesus and saying that I don't know him. Imagine your friend is now in the UK and then you are now calling the person. In it, I don't know you, in it. That is denial of the first order. And you're trying to say, Maury, all the Amala joints that we went together, don't say it for me. What are you saying? Well, now we're rolling, we're balling with, now I work in now you're blowing all the grammar. Whatever it is they've done, forgive. Let it go. Don't carry people in your heart because they jackpot and they didn't tell you. And if you jackpot and you didn't tell your friend and you feel bad about it, there's nothing wrong in calling your friend and saying, Ore, ma binu, I'm so sorry. Find a reason. Be honest about it. And if you are that friend that they called, don't now come and be doing stronger. You know that kind of thing, like, but you should have, you want not, now make the person to now work for the forgiveness. Just free the person. Say, okay, you have come to tell me, even though I was pained, but yeah, it's fine. Win your friend back. Win your sister back. Let's not, this life, let's not hold it to, there are some things someone will carry in their heart for years. And you will say, because of that thing that person did, it's not a good way to live. Honestly, shouldn't be that. It's life is because you are talking about now someone jackpot. Do you know where you are going to be in another 5 years? And this same person will need your help. You have no idea. So let's live at peace with all men at all costs. Now let me chip this in. For some, yes, your relationship might not be as grand as it were, but it might not. It shouldn't be because of pain and hurt and offense. It should probably just be because, oh well, things have happened, things have passed, and maybe there isn't any common line of communication or something that is kind of like bringing you together. But it's not a case of she needs your help, you're withholding it, or you need to do something and then you're withholding it. Never be on that kind of, never. There shouldn't be anything anyone would do to you that will make you feel like I would never. I mean, if Joseph can forgive his brothers, there's nobody in this life you cannot forgive. There's nobody in this life you cannot forgive. So please, as in that would be my both ways. If you know a friend who jackpot that didn't tell you and you did not confront the person, I think send a message tonight. All right, I know you traveled. It really hurt me. You didn't tell me, but it's okay. It's fine. Hope you're fine. Hope you're settling in well. Hope all is going on well with you. That's fine. And if you've not heard from a friend and you are the friend that someone has not heard from and you are feeling like, she didn't even look for me. She didn't buzz the person. It's simple. This life is not hard. Let's not carry it on our chest.
Now, so, Oluwadara just said it now. She said, this life is fickle. Don't tight the world to your chest.
At all. It's not necessary. It's not worth it at the end of the day. You hold people in your heart and you don't realize you are so burdened. You don't realize that you carry these people everywhere you go. It's not necessary.
No,
be light. Be
not.
light. Release yourself. Release yourself. You know, Pastor Dele will say that he doesn't think there's anybody in this world. You know, let me just quickly chip this in, all right? I remember a message Pastor Dele preached, and for those who are probably listening to me are probably Envoy Nation, they will remember this message. And I remember that in church that day, he said, bring out your phone. That brother that you blocked, that sister that you blocked, that you say, lie, I'm not talking to this one again. Say, unblock the person now and talk to the person. And what was the message that he preached? He was talking about Abraham and Lot, that if Abraham, despite all that Lot did, could still carry men in his house, go and fight for Lot. And in that story, we never saw where Lot came back to say, thank you, sir.
Yeah.
There was no place Lot came back to say, sir. I mean, he went into battle with 5 kings to go and rescue one man. One man that was feeling like I've arrived and decided, I want to japa you, you can stay. The same guy that brought you, helped you, and then you decide that stay, let me look for a fine place. And then he was in trouble, and Abraham mobilized people, went and said, but you know, the bigger story there was the fact that after he saved him, on his way back was when he met Melchizedek. Until today, Abraham became the only man in human flesh that ever met Melchizedek. No other person met that man. Whether he was a human being or a spirit, we don't even know. But Abraham was the only one. And met him, gave him a title of all, and he blessed him. How did he achieve that? He was coming back from rescuing a lot that didn't deserve it. So you don't show love or forgiveness to people who deserve it. Sometimes it's to those who don't deserve it. But you know that your heart is clear. Whether they come back to say thank you, or they come back to say, I was wrong, you were right, it really doesn't matter. Be at peace with all men.
Yay. Awesome. Thank you so much, Maureen, for that. Kemi said, people should also not think every call from Nigeria is to beg for money. Those sentiments is actually making it difficult for some people to keep in touch with some friends and family. Wow.
Very true. That's a valid statement. And I agree with that. That's a valid statement. But I don't think anyone here would insinuate that if that kind of person has made a habit of calling to check. So it's not, do you know there are some people that the only time they call is when they are in need?
They want to ask. I know. I mean,
so if the person
for the person that you're calling, the moment you see the call, you already they wait for you already because you feel like.
No, but I think if people who naturally just call, I'm just checking on you, hope you're fine, hope all is well, you know, and all of that. And it's not that every time you are calling is to ask about this or that. I don't think anybody should feel offended up when they see your call. You get and I think it's wrong. I think we've established that already. For anyone who is abroad to think that every call coming in from Nigeria is asking for money is a bad mentality and a mindset. You need to humble yourself. And even if the call is for money, if you can, help. If you can't, then let the person know you can't. If people are calling you for help, it's because they feel you can. And if you can, tell them you can. And if you can't, oh, I'm sorry, I can't. It's really that simple, you know. So, and if you're in a position to help, honestly, it's a blessing because it's more blessed to give than to receive.
Benny, yes, it is more blessed to give. Yeah. Wow. It's been awesome tonight. And I want to say thank you to everyone who's joined us tonight. I'm cheering you guys on. Thank you so much for your time. I want to say thank you to my beautiful friend, Pastor Moriola Oshomakinde. Thank you so much for your time and for all the beautiful and wise words that we heard tonight. I believe that somebody's learned one or two things. And please let me let you know that you can always still refer your friend to this page, please. If you, especially whenever you have this kind of conversation, because the truth is, I don't know any other person or platform who's had this conversation like this. I mean, I feel like it's robust,
Yeah.
and we try to touch on different parts and aspects. So please, if you have a conversation or whatever with anyone on this topic, you can please refer them to Relocating Right. It's easy to find on YouTube, just Relocating Right, and you will be blessed by all the different episodes. And if you're also here and you haven't subscribed, let me encourage you to please do that right now. There's a bell to your right side, and just pim, do that. And then you can also share. You can share the video so that other people can be blessed by it. Of course, you can also like. You can see that thumb that goes up. I would like for you to please just click on the like button as well. Thank you so much. Oh yeah, my husband is saying thank you, Pimo. Yeah,
Oh,
thank you,
thank you,
sweetheart.
sir. I remain loyal.
Yes, 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 yes. All right, behind the scene, thank you, Shion. I appreciate you. Thank you for your time. God bless you. And so, God bless you, everyone. Thank you so much. Have a fantastic, fantastic weekend. Thank you, Pimo. You are the best. Yay.